Hello class, this is the third part of the context component for 1,000 Wishes, and we are going to talk about Origami Sekkei. So reviewing our basics, our content has been conception, which is -9 to 0. The who we talked about last time in context was samurai, and what they made was origami. Place, Japan, time period, the Edo period, 1600 to 1800. Why the crane was made for a sacrifice or an offering, or so that they could get a wish, particularly in order to make sure that they have a firstborn male. How the process we're using is origami, and the name that you need to know is Sadako, which you will find about in content 2. So today, for context, we are going to jump forward from the Edo period to modern times and learn about this type of origami. So our essential questions is, what is origami sekkei? How is that used in engineering? And then we're going to explore it in fashion, furniture, and space. This type of origami is technical origami. It's designed mathematically. The crease pattern and number of divisions are figured out before you actually make the object, and then it can be adjusted. So it's based a lot on equations and graphs and plots. And it's the type of origami development that is used as a base for engineering, architecture, and industrial origami. And it's been applied to everything from fashion to spaceships. And our image there that you see is an origami robot from MIT. It functions, it crawls around like a little crab, and then it folds itself up and goes to sleep. So fashion and origami. Origami is used for both structure and decoration in fashion. Structure includes folding and pleating in clothing and accessories, like what you see in the images there. Now that is clothing and the kind of hat, cape thing, accessory. Those are totally origami, but that's not always it. It's also used to create those kind of pleats and forms in more of a mainstream fashion. And then decoration includes using origami to create jewelry and accessories and embellishments, things that you might have attached to other things. And these are some of the skills of knowing how to fold and pleat and how fabric falls is very important when you're learning fashion and designing fashion, and also working with interiors. Furniture and origami. It is rigid origami, and it uses your basic origami designs, and it can translate it into hard materials. Like you see on the right here is a chair, an ottoman that is made out of wood, and you can see where the hinges are. So it folds like origami, but it has mechanical hinges because it doesn't bend. But it could also be formed when the material is soft and pliable. So if you had a soft plastic or resin or acrylic, when it was at the stage where it was not melted but soft enough that you could bend it, you can actually make it using the origami process in order to create your object. But the furniture that really folds is what origami structure is used most for, and with the purpose of creating furniture that can be used in different ways. It can be transformed, and it's okay to use in small spaces. As the arrival of tiny homes, and then also the nomadic lifestyle of living in campers and buses and things like that, or just small apartment dwelling. A lot of times it would be handy to have a piece of furniture that you want sometimes, but you don't always need, like a table large enough for company, to be able to fold up to a very small thing that can be put away somewhere else. These are some more examples of that. This table over here on your left is an example of what I was just talking about, where in a very small area, it can stands like this and is suitable for a table for one person, or you could use it as a desk. But then you can see it unfolding to a larger round surface, and the legs unfold and swing out too, and that way it can seat more people. Likewise, this couch over here, you can take it and flip it. It flips up and down and shuts and turns into like a long, narrow kind of a box shape that can slide underneath the bed. And then this chair, you can see from the cardboard cutout on the floor that you can, actually that's a wood cutout, not cardboard, with flexible seams that you can fold it into this chair. There are patterns online where you can make furniture out of cardboard that's suitable and strong enough that you can use as furniture, both for adults and children. And this is a very economical way to create something if you need to have a chair or something like that, but you don't have enough money to furnish your first apartment, you can make it. Origami in space is something I find really exciting because I am such a science nerd. And this is something that they have really created a new foundation for the way they think and build for space travel and exploration. And it's using the technical aspects of origami to design parts of the International Space Station, rockets and satellites, and other space-based objects. Tesla has invested a lot in this. Bigelow Air and Space is a leader in constructing these things. And Boeing Aircraft also does a lot of construction with origami. And on the airplanes it's used too, but it's more for internal structures than it is for external structures. So a lot of the interior safety mechanisms and sort of, in effect, airbags that you don't see are made with origami principles. The airbags in cars are also made with origami principles. But these objects are designed to be very compact and to travel well and be lightweight, but then to be able to expand and self-support. And over here you see one of them. It's dual satellites. This is the Webb Space Telescope. The left side that looks kind of green, you can see the origami structure that was applied to create the dish of the telescope. This is one of the most powerful telescopes that we have. This is an unfolding solar array model. The flower part, the purple ring part, is solar panels that help power spacecraft. And so this is how it would be shot into orbit, because when you're shooting, launching something, you want it to be streamlined as it goes through the atmosphere. But then once it gets up to its orbit, these panels spread out. They unfold until they form that disk. They catch the solar energy that makes everything go. This is probably the most widely known and used origami model. It's Bigelow's beam expandable activity model. These are flown up and attached to the International Space Station, and what they are rooms. And they attach in different ways, and they can attach to each other, so you can have multiples of them. They can act as living quarters, as recreational quarters, laboratories, offices, many, many different kinds of uses. Relatively, space speaking, inexpensive to make and construct, and yet very sturdy once they're up out there. So your assignment for today is to explore and create. You just need your Chromebook and some paper. I've linked several video resources about origami and space and science. Look at those. They're very interesting ways that show you how something that is a really ancient craft can be applied to very, very modern uses. And then you have, for your assignment, there is a video for how to make a beam, that Bigelow model that we just looked at, and you are going to photograph and upload it. And that is it.